know it ain't minute like 6 though. Never need an intro. Yeah, even through the talk and all the chatter, I can show them that I know my family matters like a Winslow. Outdoors smoking Indo.
And welcome back to another CGS video, and today got another prediction video for you. We're going to go over the AFC South. I said this was like the worst division in football last year, and I got a lot of hate for it from all these Colts fans. They all know who y'all are. So today we're going to be going over the AFC South, but beforehand, I want to go over something, because I don't know when the fuck all these fucking Adam Schefter like fuckers got into my fucking comments lately, right? My channel has 34 fucking subscribers, and on my last prediction video, I had like a ton of comments talking about, oh, dude, I don't know anything, bruh. I highly doubt Dalton will be the starter, even though he wouldn't be worse. We won 7 games with Baker, PJ, and Sam. I don't give a fuck. I think I give a fuck if y'all won 7 games with dumbass quarterbacks? Brother, I wouldn't be saying Dalton would be the fucking starter if it wasn't already fucking confirmed that the Panthers weren't gonna rush him, you dick face. And you have the audacity to come into my fucking comments talk about some dumb shit. You know how many games Andy Dalton won with the Saints last year? Like 5, starting. Because Jameis won like 1, and then Taysom won the other one. Yeah, have fucking fun with that, dickhead. And then the next one. They said Andy Dalton's going to be the starter for OTAs and during the majority of the offseason as Bryce Young will work with the second team. They literally said Bryce will be handed the starting job eventually. No, they didn't. No, they fucking didn't. You dumb fuck. They said literally they're not going to rush him. You jackass. Shut the fuck up. Get out of my comments. Thanks for my fucking view though, you fucking dummy. Oh, here we go with this one. 12-5 for the Saints. You funny as fuck. Don't get your hopes up. I say 5-12. Shut up. Go make your own prediction video. What the fuck you like? All these Adam Schefter ass people now. Go make your own video. I'll go see what you think. What the fuck? Like, shut the fuck up. Oh, and fucking this one. Hold on. Where's it at? He must be an Aints fan. Lamel sweep this year. Yeah, Aints. Like, I ain't heard that one in fucking forever, bro. Our first losing season in what, 5 years? Grow up. Fuck you. What are you, a Bucks fan? A Panthers fan? Y'all think shit's sweet? What the fuck? All these like they never had so many comments up until now. There's this other dude in the comments. He was pretty cool. Like he wasn't like these other dumb fucks that just want to leave their smart ass. If you think y'all are so fucking smart, though, go ahead and tell me. Go make y'all's own prediction video so I can go watch them. All right, get the fuck out of here. Thanks for my view and thanks for my comment. But anyways, let's go ahead and get back into the regular schedule program. AFC South. Let's get into it. First team we're going to be looking at in this video today is the Indianapolis Colts, a team who I thought could have had the easiest division one of all time. You know, the AFC South really isn't the best division, and they're still not. Last year I had them going 10-7, but ended up finishing 4-12-1. I remember there was a certain Colts fan who slandered me because I gave the Colts 10 wins, and he thought it should have been more. And I was like, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. However, they didn't even touch 5, and I gave them 10. That was really embarrassing, especially because I thought, you know, it'd be an easy division win with teams like the Titans and the Texans not knowing really their direction. And I thought, you know, the Jaguars would compete a little bit, but I just thought, you know, Trevor Lawrence second year, I didn't, you know, not really a ton of weapons around him, but everybody on that Jaguars team showed out, which is why they went 9-8, which is why they won the division. And it's why this Colts team was so bad, it's why they were at the bottom. 4-12-1. That's third in the division, but damn, top 5 pick. Like, it really wasn't a good year for the Colts. But let's go ahead and look at the stats. 311.6 yards per game, 201.9 through the air, 109.8 through the ground game, only averaging 17 points a game. Give y'all the 27th best offense in the league. That's a bottom 5 offense. That's really not good, especially because, you know, Matt Ryan was supposed to come in and be that veteran that this team needed to get over the hump, you know. Y'all went the year before 9-8, barely missed the playoffs, but the defense, you know, giving up 334 yards a game, 209.9 through the air, 124.1 through the ground, giving up 25.1 points a game with a negative 13 turnover differential, which is the worst in the league, but the 15th best defense. Just, you know, it's really just not well. I know injuries plagued this team a lot, which is why, you know, like Shaquille Leonard was hurt, Jonathan Taylor was hurt, a lot of linemen. I think Quinn Nelson was hurt for a while. You know, and I think Matt Ryan, you know, he got hurt, he got benched mid-season, and you know, this team was just missing a lot of key factors, which is why, you know, they didn't play as well as they should have. But no, you bring in Isaiah McKenzie, you fill in that slot role. You bring in Gardner Minshew to help. You know, he's a veteran. Obviously, he's going to help Anthony Richardson, who they drafted number 4 overall. Tony Brown, cornerback, decent signing. You brought in Ashton Dulin, also wide receiver, who can fill in that slot position. You also brought in Josh Downs from North Carolina, a receiver I was really high on going into this draft. I thought he'd be a second rounder. The Colts snagged him in the third. Really great signing. I think he can be a playmaker on the team next to Pittman and Alec Pierce, who I'm still really not high on. But regardless, that's a great thing. You got Samson Ibokman, the defensive end, help out with that edge rushing. DeForest Buckner is really the only edge rusher. I believe they got rid of Okiriki. They signed EJ Speed. Really good signing. And it's just, this team, like I said, it didn't live up to the hype last year. You traded away Stephon Gilmore. You haven't traded for anybody this offseason, which is really concerning because it's like, you want to get better. You want to go out there and make, win games. Why haven't you traded for anybody that can help y'all do that, it doesn't make sense. And especially, like I said, trading away Stephon Gilmore, who, corner one. Kenny Moore really didn't show out last year like we all thought he would. And it's just, like I said, just down year in, like, for the entire Colts organization. You fire your coach midseason. You bring in Jeff Saturday. No coaching experience. He only wins you one game. But, like I said, it's just, I'm excited to see what the Colts can do, especially with this young offense. But injuries have plagued this team for a while, which is why it's kind of concerning. So let's go ahead and go over the schedule. All right, and so you starting off the year with Jacksonville. I think that's going to be a loss. I think you'll win at Houston week 2. You got Baltimore week 3. If everything stays right there, I think you'll lose that one. Week 4, I think you could beat the Rams and start off 2-2. I think you could beat Tennessee at week 5, 3-2. I think you'll lose again to the Jags week 6, 3-3. I think if if Deshaun Watson's playing up to what we expect him to play, I believe y'all will lose that one 3-4. I said you lose against the Saints 3-5. I said you beat Carolina. I say the Colts beat New England. That'll put you out 5-5 going into your bye week. Then you come out the bye week 12. I think you beat the Bucks. I already said that. I think you'll sweep the Titans this year. So that's 7-5. You'll lose to Cincy. You'll lose to Pittsburgh. You'll beat Atlanta, which puts you at 8-7. I believe you'll beat Las Vegas 9-7, and I think you'll sweep Houston again, which will put you out a 10-7 record. It's just funny because last year I said the Colts go 10-7, and now I'm looking at their record this year and I'm saying they go 10-7 again. But it's just because their schedule just seems so easy. It just seems like it should be a cakewalk for them. Like, you got the NFC South, which is a really weak division. You only lose to the Saints in that division. You could beat everybody else. Tennessee and Texans, that's 4 wins right there. So you're already at 7. New England, we don't really know what's going on over there. That's another one. The Raiders, they're falling apart over there in Las Vegas. And like I said, it's just there are some teams on the schedule that the Colts should be able to beat and this is all if they stay healthy. Great coaching, great plays all around every week, right? I think the Colts will actually go 10-7 this year with a rookie quarterback at the helm. And it's funny because, like I said this last year. This is literally the same exact thing last year, but I really do think if everything goes right for the Colts, this is a 10-win team. Now it's time to look at the Tennessee Titans, another very disappointing team from last season. Everybody thought this team could, do great things. But however, they just fell apart, and that was all before last year's draft too. After trading away AJ Brown, you knew where this team was gonna head, and it wasn't anywhere good. Let's go ahead and look at the stats. They finished 7-10 last year. They're averaging only 296.8 yards a game, 171 through the air, and 125.4 through the ground. Only scoring 17.5 points a game, which gave them the 30th best offense in the league. Not ideal, especially when you have Derrick Henry, a man who's up there every year in rushing yards, could lead the league in rushing yards every year, and he's your only offense, and it's really sad to see. The defensive side, you're giving up 351.6 yards a game, 274.8 through the air, only 76.9 yards on the ground game though. That defensive interior is really nice. Giving up 21.1 points a game with a -3 turnover differential and the 23rd best defense. Like I said, only bright side to this defense is that interior line. Obviously you extended Jeffrey Simmons. However, this team isn't going anywhere anytime soon. released Taylor Lewan, Randy Bullock, Zach Cunningham, and Robert Woods. You released Ben Jones, a key factor to that offensive line. Bud Dupree's out. But yo, your biggest move y'all made so far is signing Sean Murphy Bunting, and let's be real here. Nobody's like, oh man, we got to watch out for Sean Murphy Bunting this week. Like, no man. Like, yeah, you keep Jeffrey Simmons on that line, but like honestly, who else? This team is just like I said, it's not going anywhere, and you could tell by the moves they're making. Traylon Burks, he can be a star wide receiver in this league. Any other weapons though, you know, it's just weird. And you already gave up on Malik Willis. You threw him into the fire last year. Like you told this man to go win you games when you didn't give him any help. Like your defense didn't help at all. And that's saying a lot. And with guys on the defense like I said, Jeffrey Simmons and Kevin Byard, it's just and these guys, those guys are the best guys you got on this team. And, Derrick Henry on the offensive side of the ball. And other than that, this team has nothing at all. And it just, like I said, just goes to show with the moves they made this year. Obviously, you took Skoranek from in the draft. I think that was number 12 overall pick. Then you drafted Will Levis in the second round. Obviously, you want to get Tannehill out of there, but like I said, giving up on Malik Willis early is just really not that good. Like I said, you just threw him into the fire and expect him to go in you games with nothing to offer. And the same is gonna happen with Will Levis if y'all just throw him in there, hand the ball off to Derrick Henry or throw Traylon Burks. Says y'all don't really have anybody else. Yeah, you drafted Tajay Spears, but you don't really need a guy like that. You could have drafted a receiver in the third round. Yeah, Tajay Spears is a playmaker, but he has Derrick Henry. You have Hassan Haskins behind him. You drafted Josh Wall out of Tennessee, tight end. Maybe he comes in. Maybe he gets some snaps. And then a wide receiver, Colton Dowell from Tennessee Martin. It's just like I said, there's not. I understand the pick, the Skoranek pick at number 12 or 11, I think, right? No, 11. But when you need playmakers, it's just I don't see it. I just don't see why the Titans are doing what they're doing. But like I said, this team is going to be a bottom five team for a few years, in my opinion. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule. You start off at New Orleans week 1, loss. Chargers week 2, loss. Cleveland week 3, loss. Cincinnati week 4, loss. Indy week 5, loss. Baltimore week 6, loss. You're 0-6 going into your bye in week 7. Come out Atlanta, loss. Week 8. Pittsburgh, loss. Tampa Bay, loss. Jacksonville, loss. Carolina, loss. Indy, loss. Miami, I say y'all get a win over Miami depending on how, if the Dolphins can stay healthy, if Tua can stay healthy. I think you could beat Houston once. That's 2 wins. Seattle, no. I think Houston will grab a win, and I think Jacksonville win. So at the end of the year, that's a what? And that's a 2-15 record. At the end of the day, this Tennessee team just isn't any good. They're not. Like I said, maybe this is the one. This is kind of like maybe this could be like my Giants prediction from last year. I said the Giants go 1-16 last year. But like I said, I just don't see the Titans winning any game, like that many games this year. So I said 2 wins over a Dolphins team that probably won't be healthy, and a Texans team who is still young, brand new head coach. But this Titans team is going to be bad for a while, and it's not gonna be close. Their schedule is a little bit hard for them for the team they have, which is why I think they'll go 2-15. Now we're going to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, the team I think will win this division this year, or compete with the Colts to win it, I should say. That's really just between those two, with the Texans and Titans being where they're at right now. So let's go ahead and get into it. 9-8 last year, won the division. Well, I know the infamous Chargers game in the playoffs, the comeback victory to advance. So let's go over it. Yards per game last year on the offense, 357.4, 232.9 coming through the air, 124.5 on the ground. Scoring 33.8 points a game with the 10th best offense, which is really good from second-year quarterback Trevor Lawrence. He had Evan Ingram, he had Marvin Jones, he had Christian Kirk, who a lot of people didn't believe in, such as myself. And he balled out with what he had. Zay Jones was a big factor too. Travis Etienne, big factor. Defense, giving up 353.3 yards a game, 238.5 coming through the air, 114.8 coming through the ground. Only allowing 20.6 points a game with a +5 turnover differential and the 24th best defense. Not the best, but it was enough to get them the division, win a wild card game against a stacked Chargers team, and advance to the second round where they ultimately lost to the Chiefs. all around great year for the Jags though. You know, you bring in Doug Peterson, he really changed his team. The whole Urban Meyer situation, he really just turned it around and helped this team win games last year. And it was really fun to see. I love seeing Trevor Lawrence succeed, especially after the horrible first year he had. They franchise tagged Evan Ingram. I thought they were going to get a deal done. Release Shaquille Griffin, and they brought back Andrew Wingard. That veteran on that side. Let's see who else they got. Um, Trying to see. I don't really. Jaguars really didn't make any great moves in the offseason. Obviously, they just signed Brandon McManus, but it's really not. They didn't really do nothing crazy. I know they lost Zay Jones. I know they lost. They traded James Robinson middle of the year last year. And it's just this team really didn't get better, but they really didn't get worse either. I think they kept a lot of the same dudes that they had, and it's just I guess that's what you really want to see, especially with a young quarterback such as Trevor Lawrence. They didn't really lose nobody. Oh, they did add Calvin Ridley. He's a stud. I hope he plays well this next year. And you helped that old line out. You drafted Anton Harrison, number 27 in the first round, helping Trevor Lawrence out with that. That's gonna be really good. Brenton Strange, tight end from Penn State. He's gonna help a lot in that tight end room behind Evan Ingram. He's probably gonna be that he's going to come in, help with the run game and everything. Tank Bigsby, running back from Auburn. Y'all brought back JaMychal Hasty as well. That three running back room is going to go ahead and get going. And other than that, really nothing to brag about. Brought in receiver Parker Washington, Penn State. He's really, really good. He play the slot. And like I said, this team didn't really get better or worse in a sense. They really just, they brought back the people they wanted to. Really the same team from last year, and they added a few key parts, such as Calvin Ridley on that offense, and he's going to help Trevor Lawrence a lot. I love Christian Kirk. He was the number one guy last year, but now he can shift to number two, and last year was his first 1,000-yard season. So just imagine what he can do now with Calvin Ridley. They're gonna have to worry about Calvin Ridley. Evan Ingram was also there. And so I am excited for what this Jags team can do. Now let's take a look at the schedule for the Jags. I said you beat Indianapolis week 1. I think you lose to Kansas City week 2. I think you beat Houston and Atlanta week 3 and 4. So you're at 3-1, 3-2 after your loss to the Bills in week 5. 4-2 after you beat the Colts week 6. 4-3 after you lose to the Saints in week 7. And 5-3 going into your bye after week 8 after you beat Pittsburgh. After your bye week, you come out, play San Fran. I think you lose. You go 5-4. I think you beat Tennessee 6-4. I think you beat Houston 7-4. I think you lose to Cincy, which will put you at 7-5. I think you beat Cleveland 8-5. I think you lose to Baltimore, which puts you at 8-6. I think you beat Tampa Bay. I think you beat the Panthers, and I think you beat the Titans, will put your record at 11-6. Like I said, it's going to be between the Jags and Colts, whoever win this division, and I think Jaguars take it by a game. I just think they're better capable, they're more capable, I should say, of winning this division than the Colts are. But like I said, it's going to be close. It's probably going to come down to the final week of the season, who decides what division, or maybe even one of those divisional matchups, week 1 or week 6, I believe, that can decide who wins this division. But I have the Jags going 11-6 and winning the AFC South. Last but not least, we have the Houston Texans, a team that's been, they've been in the mud for a while now, for a few years, and they didn't seem like they were going anywhere. And I still don't think they're going to go anywhere this season, but they have potential to. They have that potential to be great this year, and that all starts with DeMeco Ryans. Well, let's go ahead. Let's look at the stats first. Finished 3-13-1 last year. The second worst team in the league. Really, 283.5 yards a game, 196.7 through the air, only 86.8 coming through the ground, 17 points a game, ranked the 31st best offense. On the defensive side, you're giving up 379.5 yards a game, 209.3 through the air, 170.2 through the ground, 24.7 points allowed a game, only a -1 turnover differential, which isn't bad, but the 30th defense, bottom 5 in both statistics stats is really not that good. This is just a team that didn't know where they were going. 2 years with back-to-back first-year coaches that got fired after their first year, and I don't think that's going to be the case with DeMeco Ryans. I think DeMeco Ryans is going to come in, and even if they don't have a winning record this year, the Texans are going to trust what he's doing because he's played for that team before. He knows what it takes to win, And they've made a lot of good moves. Signing Scott Quisenberry to a 1-year deal, helping out that D-line. Trading for Shaq Mason, helping out D-line, O-line, I'm sorry. Shaq Mason, really good. Sheldon Rankins, a very underrated D-tackle in my opinion. He can help out that defensive line when needed. You released Mario Addison. You released, Derek Rivers. You signed Jimmy Ward, really huge, really, really huge signing for the Texans. He's going to help them out a lot. You traded away Brandon Cooks. He was wanting out forever. You signed Devin Singletary and Dalton Schultz. Devin Singletary, Damian Pierce. That's going to help out a lot in that backfield. Dalton Schultz, he's going to help out that tight end a lot. He's going to come in and be the starter right off rip. You signed Denzel Perryman. He can be a leader on that defense. He's going to be great on that defense with Jimmy Ward. You signed Steven Sims, great veteran receiver. He can play the slot really well. And, like I said, it's just like I said, you also signed Shaquille Griffin. He's going to help out that wide receiver room a lot. Or receiver room, cornerback room. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read two different things, go over all these names. And it's really, you drafted CJ Stroud with 2. You drafted Will Anderson at number 3. You drafted Tank Dell in the 2nd round. And you're making all these, I love these moves the Texans are making. They want to win now. However, I just don't see them winning now because, it's going to be first year. Everybody's so young. CJ Stroud's young. Will Anderson's going to come off that edge. He's still young. He's going to be good, though. Said Tank Dell, I really like him. He's going to be really, really good. And like I said, it's just really young. This defense is really young. You got Stingley at corner. You have Jalen Petrie at safety. Like I said, it's a young team. You got all these veterans, yeah, but I think it's going to be 1 year before this team can actually start winning games. I don't see it happening right off rip, especially because the teams they're going to face and the division they're in, where every team has gotten better and, they're not the only team. But everybody has high hopes for this team. I do as well. I just don't think it's going to happen right away. All right, now let's go over the schedule. So let's just get it over with. Weeks 1 through 10, just count them all as a loss. I think these teams are all going to beat Houston to start off. Week 1 Ravens, week 2 Colts, week 3 Jags, week 4 Steelers, week 5 Falcons, week 6 Saints. You go into your bye week in week 7. Then you come out, you play the Panthers, Bucks, and Bengals back to back to back. I think that's all losses. So you starting off the year 0-10, not ideal. No panic though. I think you can beat the Cardinals. You're gonna lose to the Jags. I think you can get one over the Broncos. I think you'll lose against the Jets. You can beat Tennessee for sure. Once. I think you'll lose to Tennessee once in week 15. You got 3 wins right there. And I think you you lose to Cleveland. I think you lose to Tennessee. You win one against Tennessee, but you lose the other one, and then you lose to the Colts in the last week of the season. That's going to be a 3-14 record. Not any better than the year before, but like I said, this team is still so young. I don't expect them to come out winning games off rip, especially with, the teams that they're going to play. As I said before, and this isn't an ideal start for this Texans team, especially when, you got DeMeco Ryans as head coach, and especially, you got all these young guys that they have the potential to win games. I just don't see it happening, especially because, I said, the NFC South, the entire NFC South would beat the Texans. I think the Jags and Colts, they sweep the Texans, and when you got the Ravens in there, you got the Bengals in there. I just think, it's the teams they face this year aren't as they're going to be too competitive for them, I believe, and it's just they're not ready yet. This all a learning year for this team. This is just a rookie team at this point. You got a bunch of rookies in the second years, and so I don't think they're gonna play bad. I think these games will probably be close. A lot of these games, so they're probably gonna lose by a few scores, 1 score. I just don't think the Texans are ready. They're still all too young, as I've been saying this entire time, and that's gonna be the key factor of why they lose so many games this year. So now that we've reached the end of the video, here are the standings for the AFC South. Would look like if the records I predicted come true. The Jags would be first, 11-6. Colts at number 2, 10-7. Texans at 3 at 3-14, and the Titans at 2 and 15 in last place. This time, it's like I said, it's really just gonna be between the Colts and the Jags this year, and I'm excited to see it because, I guess, hopefully I don't get no slander for a 10-7 record for the Colts, especially because of how bad they were last year. But I always appreciate you watching the video. I said it takes a while to make these now because I'm trying to, add to these. So thank you for watching. Tune in for the next video when we go over the NFC North.
Blood don't make you kinfolk. Loyalty is what I sent for. No half stepping, only 10 toes. Now life is at a different tempo.